Picture this. It's 1929, and the world is about to plunge into chaos. The stock market crashes, fortunes vanish overnight, and millions are left jobless. Welcome to the Great Depression, a decade that changed America forever. In the next 5 minutes, we'll take you on a whirlwind tour of this pivotal era that shaped modern history. The Roaring Twenties came to a screeching halt on October 29, 1929, known as Black Tuesday. Wall Street was in a frenzy as panic selling gripped the nation. Stocks plummeted, wiping out billions in wealth. But this was just the beginning of a downward spiral that would last for years. As banks failed and businesses shuttered, unemployment skyrocketed. By 1933, a staggering 15 million Americans were out of work. Families struggled to put food on the table, and makeshift shantytowns dubbed Hooverville sprang up across the country. The American dream had turned into a nightmare. President Herbert Hoover's attempts to stem the crisis fell short, and the nation turned to Franklin D. Roosevelt for hope. FDR's New Deal programs aimed to provide relief, recovery, and reform. The Civilian Conservation Corps put young men to work in nature, while the Works Progress Administration created jobs in construction and the arts. But the Great Depression wasn't just an American problem. It spread like wildfire across the globe, toppling governments and fueling the rise of extremist ideologies. In Germany, the economic turmoil paved the way for Adolf Hitler's Nazi Party to seize power. Back in the U.S., the Dust Bowl added insult to injury. Severe drought and poor farming practices turned the Great Plains into a wasteland. Massive dust storms blackened the skies, forcing thousands of families to abandon their farms and head west in search of work. Despite the hardships, Americans showed remarkable resilience. Communities banded together, sharing what little they had. The era gave birth to classic literature like John Steinbeck's The Grapes of Wrath and iconic photography capturing the human struggle. It wasn't until the late 1930s that the economy began to recover, spurred on by increased government spending and the looming threat of World War II. As factories ramped up production to support the war effort, unemployment finally began to fall. The Great Depression left an indelible mark on American society. It led to sweeping changes in economic policy, including the creation of Social Security and stronger financial regulations. The ERA taught hard lessons about the fragility of prosperity and the importance of a social safety net. In just 5 minutes, we've barely scratched the surface of this complex period. But one thing is clear. The Great Depression was a defining moment that continues to shape our world today. It is a reminder of the resilience of the human spirit and the power of collective action in the face of adversity. Picture this. It's 1929, and the world is about to plunge into chaos. The stock market crashes, fortunes vanish overnight, and millions are left jobless. Welcome to the Great Depression, a decade that shook America to its core. In just 5 minutes, we'll unravel the most devastating economic crisis in modern history. Imagine waking up one day to find your life savings gone, your job evaporated, and your future uncertain. That was the reality for countless Americans during the Great Depression. From Wall Street to Main Street, no one was immune to its devastating effects. But how did it all begin? What caused this economic catastrophe? And more importantly, how did America finally claw its way back to prosperity? Join us on a whirlwind tour through the 1930s as we explore the causes, consequences, and lasting impact of the Great Depression. Buckle up, because this is one history lesson you won't want to miss.